Okay, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait first for 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, till then you can listen to this music. Okay, so let's start now. So that is basically OSINT. So we are going to do what? We are going to recon on something using some kind of tips and tricks. Okay, and those tips and tricks are very much specific about the target. So let me introduce you the panel. Which that panel is called shodan.io. That is the URL. Okay. I don't know how many of you have that idea. So I'm going to copy that link and paste it in your chat. If you want to visit it, you can go to the link, particular link, right? And that particular Shodan search engine will help you to find or help you to gather information about the target. Got it? Now what you need? You need a target, correct? So first thing first, let's pick a target for today's session. And that is a small mind map, which we are going to cover in this session. Number one, we are going to pick a bug bounty target. Okay, they will give you permission to hack them. We are not going to hack anything. Yes, we need premium Shodan for that. Okay. Yes, we need premium Shodan to use Karma. Karma is actually my tool, which is related to Shodan. So we will talk about it later. First thing first, whatever we are going to do is OSINT on Shodan. And for that, you need premium Shodan API. And how you can get that premium Shodan API? If you have .edu account, educational account of your, you can say your college ID or whatever it is. So you can register yourself and they will give you the premium membership. Okay. So number one, first thing is we need a target to hunt on or recon. We are going to recon on that target. So that will be very better if you will give me a target. You can drop your target in chat. So I will recon on that particular target. Okay. And if you don't have target, I will select or I will pick anyone. Guys, please make sure they will they must have any bug bounty program. Okay. Power School, they have bug bounty program. Okay, let me see. I think this one is quite better, which is fbi.gov. You make sure the whatever you are sending, which is working. So I think, see, we have very limited time. If you will give me the correct thing or right target, I will definitely pick that target and do something on that. Otherwise, I have to pick my by my own. Dell is very common here, Prakash. We can do recon on Dell, which is very common, right? So give me a nice one. Yes, Tesla is nice one. Okay, the for age, which is also a nice one. Tesla is good. We can do recon on Tesla. Yes, GitHub is also good. Cool. Either we are going to pick Tesla or Dell. Okay, guys. So let's go for Tesla now. Okay. So nice. Tesla is done. We have limited time, so we have to do it. Okay, fast. So for today's session, we are going to pick a target called Tesla.com. Okay. So I'm going to visit this website first. Guys, focus on this right now. Okay, we are going to do something amazing. Tesla.com. This is what we are going to hunt on. Okay. So recon is basically what? Recon is to gather information about the target. That's the first thing. So what you need to do is, first thing first, you need to do what? You need to identify the target's fingerprint. Number one. Okay, what kind of specific fingerprint for the specific organization? This is what you need when you want to gather information about them. Okay, so there are a lot of ways to do that. So number one, first thing is that is Shodan, which you can see right now. Okay, and we can use Shodan on many different ways. Number one, that is the website. So you can visit the Shodan on GUI, right? Or wrong. You can visit the Shodan on GUI, which is this, the website. And you can also use Shodan on CLI. That means you can download the Shodan on your terminal and use the same for your further queries or whatever it is. Okay, so I just need to open the terminal. Let me show you the terminal. You can see the terminal. Yes or no? Let me know if you are alive. Screen frozen. I don't think so. Screen is frozen. Screen is visible. Audio is clear. Nice. So let me tell you something. There is one way to use Shodan, which is GUI. That is the this part. Okay. And the second way is to use Shodan on CLI. So if you want to, use Shodan on CLI, you need to install it. So number one, install Shodan for CLI. See, whatever you are using, if you are using Linux, you can do something like that. It's a module, it's a Python module. You can do it like pip3 or whatever Python you're using. If you're using Python 2 or something, so you can use pip2 or whatever it is. Okay, install, and its name is Shodan. Okay, it's quite basic, but we will increase everything one by one. So that's the first part. Once you install it, you can check by using Shodan help or something. So that will give you the confirmation that everything is working fine. Okay, let me show you this. pip3 install Shodan. As you can see, it says it's already satisfied. That means it is already installed. Now, Shodan -h. Now you can see we can use Shodan in many different. Now it's done. So let's move to the next thing. Is it till now? I mean, there is nothing rocket science in that. CLI is not showing. Now you can see the CLI. See. Okay, give me the confirmation again. Audio is clear? Yes or no?
Yes.
And screen? What about the screen?
The command is not visible.
Command is not visible. So I need to increase the font size?
Just slide right that screen, means window of that command.
Okay, give me a second. I'm going to share the screen again. Now you can see the screen.
I think it's a dual screen effect. Kindly drag it to this screen. It's cutting.
Okay. Now it's fine.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Now it's fine. Now it's fine.
So what is actually visible right now? Notepad or terminal?
So actually, we have it is visible Notepad, and backside of that it is the GitHub.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now you can see terminal.
Yes, sir. Now we can see the terminal.
Okay. So first command is basically this. So you need to install this one. Now it's fine. I hope so, right? So let's come to the point again. First thing first, if you want to install it, you just need to run pip3 install shodan, which is fine, right? After install the same, guys, can you please mute? Okay. So if you will hit shodan -h, that will give you the help of that command. That means it is installed. Okay. So move to the next area. Okay. And guys, have patience, because if you have the idea already about this, whatever I'm showing right now, it's fine. We will do something good. Okay. But we need to go step by step. That's why I'm taking time. Let's move to the next area. So now we know how to do multiple things. Like number one, we know how to use Shodan on GUI, which is this platform, right? Second thing, we know how to install the same on command prompt. Done. Now, let me show you something. Number one. So this is something we are going to cover in this. So number one. There are two different things you can do with Shodan. First thing first, which is the manual recon. You can search for the specific area manually on Shodan. Number one, correct? Second thing, which I like the most, is the automation. You can do everything with a script that will automate your task, save your time, right? And I'll show you both. Number one, we will take manual recon. Second one, we will take the automated part. Okay. And there is one more thing which we will cover, which is DevOps and DevSecOps part. See, most of the organizations are using cloud. And if they are using cloud, that means that there is some kind of dashboards or panels are available to manage the cloud area. Okay. So we can look for that particular part also. Cool. All fine, all set. Yeah, nice. So first thing is this. So let me tell you something again. Number one, as I told you, I'm not going to show you something very new, but I will show you something very specific to the task. Okay. So as I told you, whenever you want to do something on your target, you need to visit it first. So that's the target. Number one. Second part, focus on this. Second part, you need to check the fingerprint, which is very much specific for that particular target. Okay, this is what we are going to identify. Number one. So see, I always say that we have two types of life: Aam Zindagi and Mentos life. Okay, so let me show you something about Aam Zindagi. So it's Tesla.com, and we are going to what? We are going to search for Tesla directly. Okay, it's a very small and very basic and common thing, right? How we can do this? Now we have the account. As you can see, I'm logged in, and this account is actually premium, so I can run multiple queries on that. So when I visit Tesla.com and hit enter, so that Shodan will look for something which is related to Tesla. Is this fine? Give me a thumbs up so I can identify that you are alive. Nice. Okay. So see, we need to focus on numbers also. So you can see we have total number of results are 11. Okay, focus on this. We have total 11 results. So whenever you search directly the domain, that will give you the result accordingly. See, that will look for everything. In that case, you can see that will look for the location header. That location header identifies that this is related to Tesla. That's why we have something about it. Okay, so that's the first query. So let me write it down. Sorry. We are going to add a subtopic over here, and we will move it to. So looking for a domain directly. So for the direct domain, we have only 11 results, correct? Be with me. Yes or no? So now we have 11 results. So you can say, okay, for this, we have this one. Now, what we can do, let's do something very specific. There is one thing whenever you visit the domain is HTTPS. You can see this. Whatever website you are visiting, if they have HTTPS, or you can call it SSL or TLS certificate. So we can identify very specific thing in SSL certificate. So let's click on this particular area and you can check the certificate from this particular area. Okay. And that is the basically certificate you can see. But the point is what you need to look for in SSL certificate. So we have a simple command to identify or, go in depth in that SSL certificate. Let me show you something. There is a command called curl. Okay. Curl command, or you can call it CURL, command line URL. Okay. So the command is basically curl to visit the website on CLI. Okay. -KS, S stands for silent and K for to ignore the certificate, or you can say for insecure connection. Now I'm going to visit the website, which is called https://www.tesla.com. Fine. Now the important thing is, if you provide the argument -I, that will give you the response header only. As you can see, we have the response header only, but we are not interested in the response header. We are interested in the SSL certificate. So we will add -V, that will give you the verbose result. Verbose, that means that will give you the every type of handshake or connection between you and your client. And this is what we are going to see. Let me show you where you're supposed to focus on, right? So as you can see, from this location, we have the connection starts with SSL, right? And the connection verify okay till, or you can say over here. So let me copy this area for Tesla and paste it in the notepad for you. And that is the exact area which we are going to focus on. Is it visible, guys? Yes or no? Okay. Nice. So where we supposed to focus? So you need to check this area. Number one, we need these two areas. First area is related to subject and second area is related to issuer. Okay. And that is the SSL certificate information, that this certificate is assigned for this particular target. Okay. Or target, or you can say the website. So let's focus on this only. So number one, we have a specific query for Shodan, which is SSL. So we can do what? We can create a simple query for tesla.com. So that will give you what? That will provide you the result, which is specifically for Tesla, because we are actually looking for the SSL certificate, which is assigned for Tesla. Is this clear? What we are going to do is, now see, right now we are not talking about the specific area. Right now we are talking about the entire SSL certificate. Okay, that's the first part. So what we are going to do is, we are going to look for the specific area, which is SSL or TLS certificate for Tesla.com. And now you can see the results. See, let me show you. When you visit Tesla.com, you have 11 results. Now let's change the query to SSL : Tesla. Double quotes will give you the specific query. Okay. Now check for the results and you will see something different from the previous one. Now you can see, now we have 4,168 IP addresses. Is this cool? Got it? Now that's the first part. Second part is, so that's the first area. So now we can say, if any SSL certificate is assigned for Tesla.com, that will give you the result. Is this Correct? Now let's focus on something else. Suppose, yes, I don't understand what you're saying, Himanshu. You can type whatever you want to ask in the chat area. Okay, I'll answer. So now, guys, so first thing is, suppose we have a subdomain called background voice. Maybe, see, we have something called, guys, focus on this, something called www.tesla.com, and the SSL certificate is assigned for tesla.com. Is this fine? So we will see the result, okay, in this query. Suppose we have a subdomain called admin.tesla.com and the certificate is assigned for tesla.com. So we will see the same result in this query. Okay. Now the question is, suppose we have something like adminer.tesla.com, but the certificate is not actually assigned for tesla.com. That means SSL is assigned for something adminer.localhost.local domain. So now when you search for the SSL tesla.com, that will not give you the result in this one. Is this clear? Yes or no? That means if the certificate is assigned for tesla.com, you can see the result, but there is something related to Tesla, but the certificate is not assigned for tesla.com, that will not give you the result in this query. Is this clear? Yes or no? Nice. So what we can do now? We can change the query, and now we have the query. The next query is host name. As you can see, the SSL is not related to Tesla, but the subdomain which is related to Tesla. So we can directly look for the host name, right? See, whatever I'm showing right now, we will combine everything when we want to, search more in the specific area. Yes. So what we can do now? We just need to change it from SSL to host name. Let me write it down. So it's tesla.com. Okay. As you can see, now we have something called tesla.com, or you can do what? You can assign it like this. I mean, it's all up to you. Okay. So when you hit enter, you can see the results. That will take a second maximum. Okay, see, whatever I'm showing right now, we are going to merge everything at the end of this session. Okay. So as you can see right now, guys, see, we have 23 results, and you can see the matching area is this, right? The matching area is tesla.com for every subdomain. You can see there is something related to tesla.com, or whatever it is. Got it? So it's a next area. So we have two different conditions. Number one, see, first condition says if we have SSL certificate assigned to that particular target, we can look for those using SSL. Second thing, if the SSL is not assigned for the particular target, we can look for them with host name. Now the next thing is, suppose you have the certificate which is assigned for whatever, but we need to look for the specific area. Like in the SSL certificate, we have the area which is subject, and you can see the subject common name is assigned for tesla.com. So you can specifically look for this particular, and that particular thing is called SSL issuer. SSL issuer is what? That will look for this, look for the specific area, which is this. That will check for the SSL certificate and look for the common name, and that common name must be related to tesla.com. Okay, let me show you this. Now, see, SSL dot, like we just need to change it to tesla.com. Hit enter. So it says, you can see it says SSL certificate issuer common name. Okay, so we have two different things in this. Number one, issuer. Number two, subject. So we can think subject and issuer, and both have the common name. We'll see. Let me show you. See, now we have 12 results, and you can see that result is actually also related to tesla.com. See, you will sometimes you will find out some kind of false positive results, but you need to filter them out. Okay, and I'll tell you how. Don't worry. Okay, till now, is it clear? Give me a thumbs up, yes or no. So there is also a query where you can search for the specific particular issuer for your certificate, which is certificate issuer. Now let's move to the certificate subject, and that certificate subject area is also the same. You just need to change the query to subject and hit it. That will look for this particular area in the SSL certificate and check for the common name in this. If the common name match with Tesla, that will give you the results. Okay, now we have 3097 results for this, and you can see that certificate common name issued to Tesla. Correct? See, everything is issued to Tesla. Done. Let's move to the next area. Yes or no? Okay, so now we have the next thing is we just need to change the issuer to subject. So we have 3 different ways to identify, 4 to 5 different ways to identify. Now let's talk about something which is more specific. Sometimes, let me show you something. Whenever you assign a SSL certificate or TLS certificate to any organization, that comes with the expire date. And let me show you something on tesla.com. See, there are 2 different things. Number one, issue date, which is this, that certificate is valid from this to this particular area. So whenever you type any query on Shodan which is related to SSL certificate, that will only give you the results which is validated, which are for validated certificates. That means that will not give you the results for expired certificates. Suppose Tesla, we are talking about the organization, they have some kind of certificates or domain or IP address, but the SSL certificate is expired. So using those queries, you will not have the same results for that. So there is a specific area if you want to look for the expired certificates. Okay, let me tell you how. So now we are going to check for the expired certificates. So how you can do this? Let me write it down the query for you, which is SSL dot. You need to focus on this. SSL dot cert dot expired. Okay, so the query says whatever the certificate which is expired true, you can see the results. But now you need to specify that for which organization you want to check for the results. Okay, so you have all those different ways to identify the certificate. That means you can use SSL Tesla, you can use host name, you can use issuer or whatever it is. So we can assign for host name and we will look for the tesla.com. So that will give you what? That will give you the specific results where SSL or TLS certificates expired for this particular target called tesla.com. So let's copy this particular query and paste it over here and see the results. If we have, see, I have no idea they have any expired certificate or not. We will check. Okay, so we have only one particular subdomain, which is, sorry, not subdomain, an IP address or domain or whatever it is, which is expired, and that may be related to Tesla. Got it? Is it clear? Yes or no? I think the background noise is now not going to bother you. Okay. So now let's move to the next part. This is the same thing. Now let's talk about something which is called acquisition. Acquisition is, suppose there is an organization called Tesla who buy an other organization called something Motors, whatever it is. Okay. There is an organization called Tesla and they have the child organization called Motors. Got it? And suppose the parent organization is Tesla.com. Okay, focus on this. The parent organization is Tesla.com and the child organization is Tesla Motors.com, whatever it is. So whenever you visit the Tesla.com, see, Tesla Motors.com is not Tesla.com, right? So obviously when we look for the certificate or anything, that will give you the results for this particular domain, not for this one. Correct? So when it comes to acquisition specifically in Shodan, how we can do this? So there is one thing called SSL or TLS. Sorry. TLS fingerprints. What exactly the meaning of fingerprints? You can also call it checksum. Okay. It's a SHA-1 checksum to identify the SSL certificate. Okay, not by the name, just by the particular checksum, and that must be specific for that, right? So we can do what? We can look for the SSL fingerprint for Tesla, for Tesla.com, not for Tesla Motors. We have no idea about the Tesla Motors. Okay, we need to focus on this. That's the part of acquisition. We have the domain called Tesla, and that domain is having SSL certificate, correct? So we are going to do what? We are going to collect the checksum or fingerprint for this particular SSL and look for the Shodan, look on the Shodan for that particular fingerprint. And whatever the domain or website is registered or assigned the same SSL fingerprint for their domain, we will have the results. Is this clear? Yes or no? Give me the thumbs up if it is clear. Right? So we can identify the checksum, and that must be, see, let me tell you one thing. Shodan support SHA-1 checksum identification or fingerprint. Okay. So we need to calculate the checksum using SHA-1. Okay. So this is also a part where you can, gather more information regarding the same target. And obviously you need to check the terms and conditions in the bug bounty program if they are allowed to do the same. So you can, identify more specifically for the for those domains. So we can do what? We can check for the SHA-1 fingerprint for the SSL. I'll tell you how, but before that, we need to do what? We need to learn something about Shodan CLI. Okay, we are going to do the same, but before we need to do something with Shodan CLI. So we need to learn the basics for that. And see, it's not rocket science. We have very, very much similar to the GUI. So I'm going to show you something on CLI for Shodan. See, we have the command called Shodan. You can see, right? So whenever you create your account on Shodan, you just need to do what? You just need to do something like, let me tell you something. You just need to go to the account. They will provide you an API. So you need to do what? You need to run Shodan init, which is basically initialization or initialize this API. And you just need to type whatever your API is. Simple. Okay. When you hit enter, that will say API is something like initialized or something. When your API is initialized, you need to do what? You need to check for Shodan info. Okay. So as you can see, yes, there is a way to get the premium Shodan API. If you have .edu account, you can use your college ID or something. You can create your account. They will provide you the membership for a year. Okay. So give me a second. I need to initialize my API key, and then I will get back to you. Give me a second. Okay. I just need to do something. Just a second. Okay. So now we have the API. See, when you initialize your API, you just need to do what? You just need to check if your API is initialized or not. You can check Shodan info, and as you can see, now I have total number of queries is whatever you can see right now, and whatever the scan queries I have. Okay, it's a pro account, professional account, not the premium one. So that's why I have that much queries. So now what we can do with Shodan CLI. Okay, see what I'm going to show you. I'm going to teach you something about Shodan CLI, which is the basics. See, now you know how to query on Shodan, which is you can say on GUI. If you want to do the same on CLI, you just need to do what? There is the first command called count. Count will do what? Suppose whatever the query you have, like SSL : you have tesla.com. When you hit enter, that will give you the total number of results on this particular area, which is left or right, whatever you have. So this is the similar when you want to execute it with count. Okay, suppose the query is SSL : tesla.com. Okay, so when you hit enter, that will give you the total number of results, or you can say count of those results. So as you can see, we have 4,168. You can see the same results maybe over here, right? Is this clear? So that's the first basic related to Shodan count. Okay, so let me copy this command and paste it over here. Done. Move to the next one. Next thing is stats. Stats, we will use stats to identify fingerprints for any domain or target. That's why I need to tell you something about the basics of Shodan CLI. Okay, then how we can do this? Let me tell you how. First thing first, to do this, we have multiple queries. Let me show you the queries. There is a command Shodan stats. Stats will give you the information about the stats, that how many fingerprints are related to this particular target and total number of results for this particular fingerprint. I'll show you something about it. See, that's the query. Let me copy this query for you, and we are going to do what? See, the search query is SSL cert fingerprint. So we want fingerprint for SSL. That's the first thing. Okay, and the query which will help you to identify the information about the target, which is tesla.com. Okay, so number one, first thing is that will look for the Tesla. That's the first part. Whatever the information the Shodan receive, they will Shodan look for the SSL fingerprint. And there is one thing you can also add, is called has SSL true. We only require those websites or those IP addresses or those subdomains which are having SSL certificate. So that will not look for the HTTP or port 80. Okay, hit enter. So that will give you the SSL fingerprint, which is in SHA-1 algo. Okay. So regarding Tesla, you have all the SHA-1 fingerprints. You can see these are the SHA-1 fingerprints. And regarding this particular fingerprints, we have 807 results. For this particular fingerprints, we have 757 results, and etc., etc., etc. Is this clear? Yes or no? Yeah. So that's the first query. We can do more. We can do the same with this ssl.cert. We can look for the subject CN, and we will look for the CN with tesla.com. So that will give you the different results, maybe common, but sometimes different. Okay. Maybe that will look for, that will search the same SHA-1 data or SHA-1 checksum. But you can also see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and okay, we have 10 results. Okay, so we have the same results in this also, but you can see the SHA-1 checksum is different. Correct. So we can, we can collect those queries and execute it like this. See, I can show you something like this. We have Shodan states. Okay, facets SSL fingerprint for this first query, which is SSL. Second query is for issuer. The third query is for subject, and the fourth query is for expired certificates. You can also identify the self certificates for that. Okay, and the next one is related to subject common name. You can use this or that. Let me remove this. This and this one is almost similar. Okay, that's why I'm removing this. There is no this one. So when you receive all the information, you can filter out the data and pass it to the while loop or whatever loop you can execute and search for the data. Search for the data as in we can download the results. So now let's move to the Shodan basic again. In the Shodan basics, I told you about something count. Okay. And I also told you about something this. This is related to stats to identify the information. Let me write it down, tesla.com or something. Now, suppose you have the results. See, for the tesla.com, you have all those fingerprints. Now, if you want to look for this particular fingerprint, you can execute it like Shodan. There is a thing called search. Now, I'm going to tell you something about search. Okay. So you will do what? You will look for search. And what you are going to search is, you are going to look for the SSL fingerprint. So how you can do this? We are going to search for ssl.cert.fingerprint : double quotes, and you can use any fingerprint. Like let's use this one. Copy and paste it. So that will search for this particular fingerprint. Or you can do the same on GUI. Let me copy the same query and execute it for you on GUI. You can execute it like this. So that will look for the specific fingerprint for the specific domain. Okay. So you can, have the precise results for that. So we'll see the output of this one. See, now we have 6 results and whatever the ports we have for that, right? So we can do the same in this area. Let me show you. When you search this, see, whatever you are doing on GUI, this will be the same. And now you have all those IP addresses with whatever ports you have. Okay, that is the part you can do with the SSL certificate fingerprints. Is this clear? See, now what we can do, we can identify domain with SSL, host name, SSL issuer, subject or expired. We have SSL fingerprints, and we can identify the specific fingerprint for that. Let me copy the query and paste it over here. Done. Now let's move to the next one. Suppose you want to search for something and download the data. So you can do the same. You just need to change the search to download. But there are a few things you need to add in this one, which is number one, you need to, let me tell you this one. Whatever query, number of queries you have with your premium account, you need to focus on thing. For 100 downloads, Shodan will use your 1 credit from API. Clear? For 100 results, that will download the, sorry, that will use 1 credit from your API. So you can use this particular thing called limit. Limit will limit the download. If you will assign 100, that will only download the 100 results. Suppose you will look for ssltesla.com and that query will have the approximately 4,000 results. So you can limit the results. But suppose you want to download unlimited data, so you can change it to negative integer. Negative integer will tell the Shodan to download unlimited results, whatever the results you have. Okay. Now, when you hit enter, it says the search query is empty because to download the data, that query will need a file name, whatever the file name you can assign. Okay. So let me assign Tesla SSL SHA-1 checksum or whatever it is. When you hit enter, that will create a file called Tesla something 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 and give you the results. Okay. And just because of the negative integer, that will download whatever the results Shodan will look for. Okay. So let me just copy this particular query and paste it over here. Okay. So now we have 6 results in the file, which is this one. Done. What you can do now, you can retrieve the data from this particular file. Let me show you. See, as you can see, it's a gunzip compressed data and the file is in JSON. Okay. So we will do what? We will open the file like this. Tesla, I'm going to use Zcat that will, that is basically used to read the compressed data from gunzip, and we will pass it to JQ. JQ is the JSON parser, text parser. So that will give you the beautify results. So you can see these are the results we have regarding all those particular domains. As you can see, whatever the information you want, you can specifically identify that particular thing. Like suppose we need IP addresses, how many IPs you have. So we can identify the IP as, let me check, give me a second. See, we have port and whatever the IP address. Okay. So what you can do, you can pass it like IP underscore str with this. So that will give you the IP address, right? Or you can do what? You can also download 2 different things like port. I think it's ports or whatever it is. Okay. So this is the first way you can download the data, or Shodan will give you something called parse. Parse is what? To parse the data from downloaded results. So you can use Shodan parse. Okay. See, these are the information. You can do what? Shodan parse, and you can identify the fields, which field you want to retrieve from the file. Like I want IPSTR. IPSTR is basically IP string, comma port. Okay. And then space. This you just need to define the file name. The file name is Tesla or something, right? When you hit enter, that will automatically grab the information for you, which is IP and port. Is this fine? Right? So let me just copy this particular thing and paste it for you. So till now, you can do what? you can identify multiple things or multiple fingerprints for a particular domain, right? And you can grab the information accordingly. Then it's done regarding the particular identification or fingerprint recon on specifically show done. Is this clear? So now we can move to the next area. Okay. See, the next area says, see guys, I'm going to finish this particular area. Okay. It's a manual recon to identify the particular target and specific fingerprint for that. So now let's focus on something more when we talk about the target. Okay, so the next area is regarding DevSec or DevSecOps or something. Suppose if you have any organization, or suppose you are hunting on an organization, so they must have some kind of cloud area, right? So there is an opportunity where you can explore with this. So you can explore for the DevSec or DevSecOps area for the specifically defined dashboard or something for which is used for ELK stack, Elasticsearch or something. So I'm going to show you a few recons or a few docs for the specific thing which you can find for the particular part. Okay, let me show you. Number one. First thing is Jenkins, right? There is a dashboard called Jenkins. So now, as I told you, we will merge everything when it comes to do more recon on the same target. So you can identify the target using hostname. You can identify the target using SSL, SSL subject, expired, and SSL CN issuer, right? So you have 5 different ways to identify your specific target. You just need to add more thing with the 5 different ways. Okay. Like if you want to look for Jenkins, so suppose this one is Jenkins, you just need to find Jenkins in 5 different ways. Suppose you will look for Jenkins with SSL, that may not give you the results. So you need to check for Jenkins with hostname. You need to check for Jenkins with SSL issuer, CN, SSL subject CN, and etc. etc. So that will give you the more precise results for that. Okay. So let me tell you something about this. So now, if you want to look for Jenkins, suppose, so there is a common pattern or fingerprint for Jenkins. Okay, let me show you something. There is a particular part for Jenkins. Let me search. The query for you is called this. What we are going to do in this one is X Jenkins, which is the header. Okay, when you want to visit the website or visit the Jenkins panel, there is a particular header which comes with the name X Jenkins, set cookie JSON something something. The title of Jenkins is this. Okay, when you hit enter, see, let me show you something. When you hit enter, it will give you 26 results with whatever the information or whatever the data they have. Okay, that's the first. And sometimes you can see not only Jenkins, you can see dashboard for that. Sometimes the Jenkins are publicly exposed. So the publicly exposed Jenkins we have 1700 or something. So the common fingerprint is this, which is bracket Jenkins. So we can look for this, right? That will increase the results basically. So now we have 2105 results. Cool. Now let's go for the specific result. How you can go for the specific results? Number one, you can look for SSL, right? We can look for SSL and check for the Tesla.com. That's the first query. We can check for Jenkins, number one. See, we don't have any results. Let me copy this and paste it for you. Right? What we can do more? We can do something like, sorry. We can change the results from SSL Tesla to hostname Tesla. I hope you understand what I'm saying right now. You have many different ways to identify your particular target and you want to look for the particular thing called Jenkins. So you can check for all those 5 things to identify the domain and check for the particular area called Jenkins in that case. Is this clear? Yes or no? Right. So this is how you can check for multiple areas for Jenkins, Kubernetes, Grafana, or something. See, we have very limited time. We have only 15 minutes. So I have to show you something which is related to automation. That will take a bit. So let me execute it for you. So then at the end of this, we will check for the data. See, let me show you something. Whatever you are doing in that case, we need to automate everything. So, your system will do something for you. So that's why I create something. It's a simple bash automation script. Is called Karma 2. Sorry, it's Karma only. It's the first part, which is Karma. Let me open the repositories. Okay, that's the Karma. Karma is the name. Okay, it's my bitch name. So see, that's the part. So we are using Shodan CLI to grab the results. Number 1, we use SSL. So the first query is SSL and whatever the target is. Second query is SSL certificate and whatever the target is. Next one is organization and whatever the target is, and etc. And we also figure out the SSL certificate for the targets. Okay, so system will do automatically whatever you want, right? Now that's the public version. I'm going to show you something about the Karma V2, which is not public right now. Let me show you this. Okay, and let's look for the Karma, and we will go for the version V2. Okay, then what we are going to do is execute Karma V2 for the domain tesla.com, and we will define the limit. L stands for limit, and if you want to download everything, so you can provide the negative integer. So we are going to provide the negative integer, so that will grab everything. So it's this one is not public yet, but I will public it very soon. Till then you can use Karma V1. V1 is also good. Okay, that is, see, V1 is also support a lot of things. It's called SHA-1 checksum. Obviously that will check for the in-scope IP addresses. I mean, suppose we have 8,000 results, so that will only grab the particular IPs which is related to your target. Okay, that will verify the each IP with the SSL certificate which is related to that particular domain or not, and that will find the port, CVEs, and etc. Okay, so that's the part of automation. See, we have very limited time. That's why I have to finish it on time. So because the session is have to finish between 4 to 5. It's already 5:17, so I have to do it. But I hope this session is informative for you, and hope you learned something from this one, right? And don't worry about this. I will share this particular mind map on GitHub, so you can download it. And till now, see, the Karma 2 V2 is looking for the results. Till then, you can ask if you have any question, so I can resolve or answer as soon as possible. DADStack is not. See, I'm not from Pakistan. DADStack is a part of that game called Watch Dogs. It comes from there. DADStack. Any question, guys? See, whatever the query you have, you can directly ask, or you can type your query in chat. See, What's new in Karma V2? See, let me tell you. Karma V2 supports a lot of docs. Let me tell you how many docs available in Karma V2. Let me show you. See, I have 163 docs for Karma V2. And that will look for every type of dashboard, specific state, specific HTML title, HTML components, or that will look for Kubernetes or Prometheus server, MongoDB, Metrics, Grafana, etc., regarding anything regarding publicly exposed servers. So we have 163 docs in this, and that will also look for the ASN, and that will give you the in-depth detail regarding ASN. I can show you that. I tweeted about it, the results of Karma. Let me show you. Just a second. See, this is how Karma V2 can identify the results. That will check for all the ASNs and look for the ASN name, organization which ASN belongs to, ASN registration date, IPv4, how many IPv4 prefix available in this ASN, IPv6, how many BGP neighbors are available for this, and IPv4 subnets and IPv6 subnets, which is you can call CIDR or whatever it is. So that will look for all these information and print it something like this. And when it comes to IP address, that will look for this also. You can see that will scan for each IP which is specifically related to your target, and that will look for the operating system, host name, organization port, servers, CVEs, product, and etc. And that will also look for a lot. Okay. And I posted something related to Karma V1, which is a small video you can see on my profile, which is this. It's a small one, but you can see the results, which is very effective. See, I scanned for HackerOne or something, so you can see the results. It's completely passive. Bhuvan, there is no any active query for anything in this. 100% passive. See, it's scanning. That will take a bit because I have 163 Shodan queries, and there is a rate limit in Shodan. That rate limit is called, you can query one particular thing in a second. That means 1 second per particular query. See, let me show you the results for HackerOne with Karma V1. Okay, I'll share you the Twitter profile. Okay, and I'll also share the what it is, GitHub profile also. Okay. I will upload it on GitHub. Okay, so you need to check the GitHub. I'll upload that mind map on GitHub, so you can download it. Okay. See, we are actually looking for the negative integer. Negative integer as we will look for every results. So that's why it's taking a bit. And we have 163. So you can calculate accordingly. That's why that is, taking a bit or taking some time. So you just need to wait for a while. That will give you a good result for Tesla. At least right now we are working on Tesla. So till then, anything else you want to ask, so you can ask. We will have our results very soon. Okay. Is it ethical to check Android TV on port in Shodan? There is no sense to do this. You are talking about ADB, Android Debug Bridge. Search on Shodan and look for the Android TV. There is no sense for that, right? Do something for bug bounty so you can earn money. Correct? Ajit, I'll talk to the host. If they have recorded the session, they will upload it on YouTube and they will definitely share you the link. Or I will share the link on Twitter. Don't worry.
Hello guys, we are going to share you the recorded video. Share the link of the recorded video in the WhatsApp group and also to all your mails. Since you are registered for the event, we are going to share it at the end of the TechFest.
Now happy? So let me show you the screen now. You will see the result very soon. Focus on screen, guys. See, right now I'm not going to show complete output of my tool. I will give you the total count only. See, that's the result for Karma V2. We see, this is only the total count of whatever the results we have. Okay, that will not download the results. So now you can see we have all those SHA-1 checksum and the result count for SHA-1 checksum. We have SSL domains and etc., which is this. We have login panels that's the total count. We have 403 and there is 2 Grafana dashboard detected for this one. And this is the nice output for Tesla. We can look for the Grafana. I will definitely look for Grafana after this. Okay. So see, these are only results where have something available in count. We have total 163 dogs, and this is the results for Tesla, and that's how this tool works. I mean, that's not the complete results. It's only total count. That's it. My session timing, I mean, I don't understand what you're saying. See, I have to end this session right now because we have out of time. So I hope this session is informative and hope you like the session. This is all I can say now.
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. This session is very informative and we had gained a lot of knowledge of the Shodan from very basics to till the advanced level. And I'm sure it is going to help us in finding and doing recon on the different domains of the things. And thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot for coming to the Graviton 2021, sir. It's our pleasure having you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for having me. DadSac.org is not mine. Okay, guys. Bye-bye. Take care.